Some things hide in the dark, some things wait, and some things were never meant to be found. But here you are, searching. Welcome to Don't Fuck with the Shadows, a podcast where the veil is thin, the shadows are alive, and we talk about everything you are told not to. On tonight's episode, we are talking about shadow people and other entities that can go bump in the night or hide in the shadows. So let's get into it. Shadow people. If you've ever seen one, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, well, buckle up because I'm about to tell you what they are, or at least what we think they are. Shadow people are exactly what they sound like. Dark, human-like figures that appear in your peripheral vision. They're often described as tall, dark silhouettes with no real features, just shadows. Most of the time, they're seen out of the corner of your eye. You know, when you think you saw someone standing in the doorway at the end of the hallway, but when you look, there's no one there. But sometimes they're bold enough to appear right in front of you, staring you down. And that's when things can get real interesting. Some people feel like a sudden chill when a shadow person appears, while others report a sense of dread, like the air is thick with something not quite right. Some say they feel nothing, and they just see them. Others claim they can see glowing eyes in the shadows, and that's when we enter a different level of terrifying. But what are they? Are they ghosts, interdimensional beings, or something darker? Let's explore. Because the thing about shadow people is they don't always feel human. They often feel wrong. There are several types of shadow people, each with their own characteristics. But the most common ones we hear about are the Watcher, the hooded figure, and the red-eyed shadow. This type of shadow person seems to hang back and observe, just standing there in the corner of the room at the edge of your vision. They never move forward or interact, but you know they're watching you. Some people feel a sense of dread when encountering a watcher, while others feel paralyzed, unable to look away. The eerie thing about these entities is that they are often described as having no intention. They're simply there, silent, waiting. From what I can gather, this is the one most people encounter. The hooded figure. This one's a bit different, and often people describe it as a shadow wearing a dark hooded cloak, standing tall and motionless. Sometimes feels like they're guarding something, almost like a sentinel. Other times, they might give off an air of malevolence. There's a sense that this one might be aware of you in a way that others aren't. And some say if you get too close, you might move. It might reach out. If you've seen one of these, you know the chilling feeling of being watched by something that doesn't care if you're scared. It wants you to be afraid. The next one is the red-eyed shadow. This is the one that keeps people up at night. Imagine a shadowy figure, but with glowing red eyes. It is said that when you look into those eyes, you feel an overwhelming presence, like you're not alone, and worse, you're not safe. Some reports claim these entities are far more aggressive, possibly even following you from room to room. A lot of people have described the feeling an almost physical pressure when these beings are near. The presence is oppressive, cold, and unsettling, and for some reason the red eyes are often linked to paranormal events that go beyond just sight, like sudden headaches, unexplained shadows, or feeling of being drained. But here's the kicker. Some believe that seeing these red-eyed figures means you're being marked or targeted, and that's what really makes the hair on your neck stand up. Well, it does mine. So, since we've covered the basics of shadow people, but did you know that shadow people are not just a phenomenon in modern paranormal research? No, these things have been appearing in different forms across cultures and histories. Let's take a quick look at how different cultures interpret these shadow entities. The Djinn, a Middle Eastern folklore, are not simply shadowy figures. They are a complex class of supernatural beings with a wide range of abilities. While they can manifest as shadowy forms, often appearing as fleeting glimpses at the periphery vision, this is the only one aspect of their multifaceted nature. Their creation is often attributed to a smokeless fire, a concept emphasizing their otherworldly and potentially dangerous nature. This smokeless fire is not meant to be taken literally as a physical element, but more as symbolic representation of earthreal essence and power and potent power. Their behavior is incredibly diverse. Depending on their individual nature and the influence of external forces, some Djinn are benevolent, even even helpful, or offering assistance or guidance to those who invoke them correctly. However, many are inherently mischievous, prone to pranks and minor acts of mischief, and some are outright malevolent, capable of inflicting significant harm, both physical and psychological. This malevolence can range from minor annoyances and unsettling occurrences to cause serious illness or death. The ability to possess humans is a key aspect of Djinn lore. Possession can manifest in various ways, from subtle personality changes and inexplicable behavior shifts to full-blown demonic possessions. Where the afflicted individual acts entirely against their will, this possession is often cited as a potential explanation for hauntings, unexplained phenomena with homes or locations, and even the appearance of the shadowy figures themselves, the Djinn's presence manifesting physically through the possessed individual. Furthermore, the appearance of a Djinn is not limited to the shadowy figures. While this is a common description, they can take many forms, including animals, objects, and even humans. Their ability to shapeshift and disguise themselves highlights their deceptive and incredible nature. This ability makes them difficult to identify and understand, further fueling the mystery and fear surrounding them. The ability to manipulate shadows and darkness is sometimes attributed to Djinn, making their presence particularly elusive and unsettling. Their appearance, behavior, and motivations are often linked to human actions and beliefs, reinforcing the belief in their responsive nature and the importance of respectful behavior and appropriate invocations. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Shurale of Mongolian folklore. They are far more simple. They are far more than just simple shadowy figures. They are cunning, deceptive shapeshifters, master of illusion, manipulation, dwelling primarily in dense forests and remote wilderness areas. While they can manifest as tall, shadowy humanoids, often appearing suddenly at the edge of one's vision, this is merely one of their many guises. The true forms remain largely unknown and are rarely, if ever, witnessed directly. The descriptions of the shadowy appearance often emphasize their unsettling nature. Indistinct features, unnatural movements, and a profound sense of unease permeate accounts. These shadowy manifestations serve a crucial purpose for the Shurale, luring unsuspecting victims. They are notorious tricksters, employing their shape-shifting abilities to deceive and ensnare travelers, particularly those venturing alone into the wilderness. The Shurale will often appear as a familiar figure or a helpful guide or a lost companion, subtly manipulating the victim's perception to gain their trust. Once this trust is established, the deception begins. They led their victims deeper into the forest, down misleading paths, often through treacherous terrain, and always ensuring the victim is becoming hopelessly lost. This isn't simply a playful game of cat and mouse. The Shurale's intent is far more sinister. The consequences of falling prey to Shurale's trickery can range from temporary disorientation, the physical harm, to permanent entrapment. Some accounts claim victims are driven mad, lost forever within the labyrinth depths of the forest, never finding their way out. The Shurale's power not only lies in their physical abilities, but also their manipulation of the environment itself. They are said to control the very paths and trails within the forest, creating illusions and mirages to further disorient their victims. Their presence is often associated with unnatural sounds and atmospheric disturbances, adding to the unsettling nature of encounters. Unlike some other shadowy entities, the Shurale's motivations aren't always purely malicious. They have seemed to be driven by a strange combination of mischievousness, a desire to control their territory, and a profound unsettling loneliness. Their actions are rarely directed towards outright violence, but the psychological and emotional torment they inflict can be just as devastating. Ultimately, the Shurale serve as a cautionary tale warning against venturing too far into the unknown and a reminder of the dangers that lurk within seemingly serene natural environments. So we're moving on to the Philippines now. The Duende of Philippine folklore are words are hard today. Enigmatic creatures, often depicted as small, impish beings inhabiting the natural world, particularly the forests and fields. However, their true nature is far more complex and unsettling. While commonly portrayed as mischievous spirits capable of both helpful and harmful actions, the duende possess a terrifying ability to shapeshift, dramatically altering their size and appearance. This power allows them to manifest as large, ominous figures cloaked in the shadow, their forms looming and menacing, a stark contrast to their usual diminutive size. These transformations often precede misfortune, acting as ominous premonitions, a shadowy harbinger of impending ill luck for the household and individual. The appearance of a duende in its larger, darker form is not always a direct attack. Rather, it serves as a warning, supernatural portent signaling something unfavorable is about to occur. This warning can manifest in subtle ways: a subtle darkening at the periphery of vision, a fleeting shadow that seems to linger longer than it should, or a distinctly formed menacing silhouette visibly only at the corner of one's eye. The duende's presence is often elusive and ambiguous, their true form usually obscured by shadows. Even the nature of misfortune is rarely clear. It could range from minor inconveniences and setbacks to significant losses or calamities. Sometimes offerings or appeasements are said to be necessary to placate the duende and avert their foretold misfortune. The reasons behind duende's decision to manifest in its larger, darker form remain shrouded in mystery, often tied to the specific context and beliefs of the individuals involved. Some believe it's related to perceived disrespect towards nature or to the spirits of the land. Others associate it with unresolved conflicts or imbalances within the community. Regardless of the cause, the sight of such a manifestation is considered a deeply unsettling experience, leaving a lasting impression of fear and unease. The folklore surrounding Duende serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the unforeseen forces that may influence human lives and the importance of respecting the balance of nature and the spirits that inhabit it. Now we are moving on to European folklore. With the whispers of the Shadow Walker, a figure shrouded in mystery and dread, far removed from the whimsical spirits and mischievous imps of other traditions. These aren't simply shadows, but entities of shadow, beings seemingly composed of the very darkness that clings to the edge of human perception. Their appearance is seldom clear, often described as a fleeting distortion in the periphery, a shifting darkness that mimics a human form without ever fully materializing. Some accounts describe a gaunt, skeletal figure, while others speak of a formless, inky blackness that moves with unnatural grace. The lack of concrete detail only adds to their terrifying mystique. Unlike many folkloric entities who may have specific motives or desires, the Shadow Walker's purpose remains ambiguous, lending to the unsettling nature of its presence. It isn't typically associated with direct attacks or malevolent acts. Excuse me. Rather, its appearance serves as an ominous harbinger, a chilling precursor to the tragedy. Timing is precise, invariably appearing just before death or some other significant misfortune. This has led to several interpretations. Some believe that the Shadow Walker is a warning, a ghostly messenger attempting to alert the living in an impending doom that might yet be avoided. Others view it as a grim reminder of mortality, a tangible manifestation of death's ever present shadow, an unsettling reminder that end lurks constantly in the unforeseen corners of life. Still, others associate the Shadow Walker with specific calamities such as a family curse or impending war, further cementing its role as a potent or of profound and unavoidable hardship. The absence of the clear cut motivations add the chilling effect. It is a silent omen leaving no explanations. The Shadow Walker's very existence serves as a potent symbol of an unpredictable and inescapable nature of fate, a constant reminder of humanity's vulnerability in the face of death and disaster. It's chilling, isn't it? This isn't a new phenomenon. This isn't something just modern people are making up. Shadow people have been lurking in our cultural consciousness for centuries, if not longer. It makes you wonder, are they a shared manifestation of something universal, or is there something more to it? Something that transcends time and culture. The parallels between shadow people and these diverse folkloric entities are striking. The consistent association with darkness, the capability for shape-shifting in some instances, and the potential for malevolent or mischievous actions create a compelling link. Like the Djinn's ability to manifest in shadowy forms, the Shurale's shape-shifting into tall shadowy figures, the Duende's potential for large dark manifestations, all mirror the characteristics attributed to shadow people. Are they all connected? We may never know. And next up, we're going to talk about some ways you can protect yourself, not just from these shadow people, but if you feel like you need it. The protection circle. This is probably one of the most common and most powerful protection rituals out there. It's simple enough for anyone to perform. I use this when I feel I need to set boundaries around my space, especially if I feel like the presence of something unwanted or I'm about to do some deep energy work like spellcrafting or working with spirits. And these are the steps you want to do. The first step is to select a space where you want to perform your ritual. It could be your home, your room, or even a specific area you need to cleanse. Next, you're going to gather your tools. Salt. Sea salt is great, but regular salt will work too. Candles, black, white, protective colors like red or purple, and any crystals you feel drawn to. Obsidian, black tourmaline, amethyst, they're great for protection. Start by sprinkling a line of salt in a circle around you, making sure it's continuous with no gaps. As you do this, visualize a glowing barrier of white or violet light surrounding you. Light the candles. Place your candles around you, all around the circle. As you light each one, say something like, I light this candle to illuminate and protect my space, to banish all negativity and ensure my safety. Focus on your intentions. Now the important part, your intention. Close your eyes and say aloud or in your mind, by the power of the light, I cast this circle to shield myself from harm, to guard my energy and to keep the shadows at bay. May no harm enter here. The circle will act like a shield protecting you from any outside influences. It also helps to keep your energy grounded, centered, and clear. I found that especially in times of spiritual or emotional vulnerability, the simple practice can be a life changer. The next one I have is the Black Tourmaline Protection Spell. This is one of my favorite crystals for protection. Black tourmaline has the reputation of being an energy cleanser. It absorbs negative energy and keeps it from infiltrating your space. If you've ever worked with crystals, you know that each one holds a unique vibration. Black tourmaline is one of the most powerful when it comes to protection. A spell I often use when I need to feel more grounded, long-term type of protection. I usually do this spell on a full moon or a new moon when the energy is potent and you can harness that lunar power to help you clear out old negative energy and create space for the new. If you guys want videos on any of these, let me know and I can do that. I can make it happen. When you want to get your black tourmaline, you'll need at least one piece of black tourmaline, but you can use more if you feel called to do so. Hold it in your hand and focus on the intention of clearing out negativity. Prepare your space. Cleanse your space first, maybe with sage, palo santo, or incense. Set up a small altar or just clear a flat space to work on. Hold the crystal in your hand, close your eyes, and begin to visualize a shield of white or violet light enveloping you. As you do this, say, by the power of the earth, I call on the strength of black tourmaline to protect me, absorb all the negativity, and banish all shadows, and protect my energy. Keep me safe and grounded in the light. And then you're going to seal the spell. Keep the crystal with you in a place where you can see it regularly, like on your altar or near your bed. You can also carry it with you as a pocket stone to keep the protection going throughout the day. It's a powerful reminder of your intention. This spell works over time, helping maintain a protective barrier that you can feel when you need it most. Now, if you're wanting something more portable, or if you're dealing with heavy energy, I like to use protection herb bags. These can be carried in your bag, kept in your home, your vehicle, as a personal shield. The beauty of this spell is in the herbs you use, as different plants have their own protective properties. Here's what I suggest. Ingredients: salt for purification, rosemary for protection and healing, sage for cleansing, bay leaves for banishing negativity, and lavender for peace and calming. You're going to gather your herbs and lay them out in front of you. As you do, consider the energies each herb brings to the table. Create the bag. I use a pre-made satchel type bag that has drawstrings, and you can use a small piece of cloth or whatever you want. As you fill the bag, you can say a chant like, by the power of the earth, air, and fire, protect me from harm as I desire. With rosemary, sage, and bay so pure, I ask for protection, strong and pure. Seal the protection as you close the bag and imagine a glowing light around it. A force field to ward off any unwanted energy. You can keep the bag with you at all times or place it wherever you need the protection. Sometimes you might need protection on a more personal level, a way to keep your energy safe from outside influences. Especially if you're working with other people or if you find yourself in a toxic environment. A personal binding spell can be extremely helpful in these cases. To bind negative energies from entering your aura and space, this spell is particularly powerful if you're feeling drained, attacked, or exposed. And this is how it's going to work. Just like with any other spell, you're going to want to prepare your space. This is where your intent becomes vital. Close your eyes and imagine a silver or white cord running from the top of your head down to the ground. Visualize a protective force field surrounding this cord, and as you do this, say, I bind all negativity away. I wrap my aura with light today. No harm can enter, no shadows creep. I am protected, safe and deep. Imagine a glowing ball of light at the center of your chest, expanding it until it surrounds your body as a protective shield. Visualize this energy, expelling any harmful forces or unwanted influence. It's like placing a force field around your soul. I do this one regularly here recently, especially If I've been exposed to difficult people or situations, it's a form of psychic protection, like a spiritual set of armor. And remember, this is just how I do things. This is my way of doing it. I don't know if anybody else does it this way. Protection spells aren't just about casting something and waiting for it to work. They're about maintaining your personal power and energy. The more you practice them, the stronger your energy becomes, and the more you are able to stand firm against any negative entities or forces that trying to disrupt your peace. But the real key is to trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust your ability to protect your energy. And when it comes to the shadows, you are your own best shield. These spells and rituals are just tools to help strengthen that shield, so you can walk through the world without fear. Today's journey into the unknown has come to a close. Are shadow people simply figments of our imagination, or do they possess a deeper reality? Join us next time as we venture into the rugged terrains of Alaska, where the gold miners never truly left and they find themselves still exploring and mining. We'll explore tales of survival in this unforgivable landscape. Until then, if you feel something lurking at the periphery of your sight, don't dismiss it. Just stay curious, stay grounded, and remember, don't fuck with the shadows.